You would not believe your eyes, if 10 million battles cards lit up the map as I gained money. 'Cause they fill the open land, and leave money everywhere. You'd think me rich, but I would just stand and spend. Hello everybody, hope you enjoyed the first MLG intro in a while. There may be more coming soon. Anyways, you may recall that just barely 2 weeks ago, me and my buddy Tyler attempted a world record highest round in battles, only to come up short by a couple of rounds. Now we are not doing the same thing again this video, but the process is similar. We go back about 5 months or so to the first time we attempted a highest eco record, where we ended up succeeding with just short of 300k eco and just short of $100 million. However, it's time to break both records again, or at least try to by using a slightly different approach that doesn't involve using an auto clicker or breaking your mouse, but requires a shit ton of micro, mind you. And that approach is simply to change the game mode from classic to card battles. It's not 100% clear whether or not cards is easier to gain eco on, but we will certainly put that to the test today. Because custom clubs for card battles doesn't exist yet, I kind of had to put it upon myself to do a little modding to make this work in this private battle. But other than that, nothing gameplay-wise has changed, so it should be alright in terms of this being a legitimate record attempt. However, there's one thing I do want to point out though. Technically the game mode we are playing on right now has never existed in the game before. It's bananza with fire card battles for those who haven't figured, and the reason it doesn't technically exist is because custom club private battles doesn't work with cards, and Ninja Kiwi never puts combo clubs on card battle arenas either, so it's not possible to attempt this without modding, which some of you may argue is not valid and for good reason. But personally I'm going to be biased and say it should count, cause all these game modes do exist after all. Ninja Kiwi just hasn't enabled the option to piece them all together to create this money-making madness mode. A decent chunk of people probably saw what happened on Tyler's stream when we didn't go for bananza with fire and instead just went with bananza. Boy were we way off that record. Didn't help my i7 toaster couldn't handle all the spike storms either. Being the desperate view-whoring couple we were after that attempt, me and Tyler just said fuck it, we can't let this opportunity go to waste. The eco gain for some cards in one use would be absolutely insane, so I hope you understand. Speaking of cards, let me run through the maximum eco deck we are using and explain my choices loud and proud, including the ones I didn't bring but expect people to comment, why didn't you bring X and Y and so forth. Obvious ones first. The Ground Zero card is absolutely necessary and the staple to getting a massive eco, offering you a whopping plus 2,600 per use, far and away superior to any other card in the game. Coming in second place is the Laser Cannon card, which grants 880, a steep drop from 2,600 but still significant enough to be worth bringing, especially since it takes a while to cycle through your deck and get the Ground Zero card again. Aside from the two main eco cards, we've got around 4 cards strictly for surviving and growing eco in the early game. The only reason we bring these is so we get enough money to afford the larger eco cards once they become available. Okay, then we move on to the nitty-gritty towers, the ones specifically used to reach as high a round as possible, reason being the longer the game, the more time you have to get eco. Who would have guessed? Temples are pretty much essential. Those will be our main popping power as we head into the deep stages of late game. Unfortunately, unlike our other high round attempts, we won't be able to fit anywhere close to 10 temples, mainly because the only temple card that exists is the 421, so it's got massive range, which means each temple has to be really far apart in order to not end up eating themselves. So with temples means you must sacrifice a ton of shit, and that is why we've got 1 ice, 1 blue, 1 wizard, and 1 mortar card. Monkey Village is for the OP Call to Arms ability, which is still quite useful despite the hypersonic nerf last patch. Ninja is a no-brainer, so is the Cripple Moab Sniper. Spread those across the map, put them on close, and the amount of stalling you get will be crazy. Lastly is the Spike Storm. This tower is our best bet to fill in the holes, because other stronger fillers like the Tech Terror don't exist here. Feels bad. So yeah, did I mention yet about how much freaking stuff you have to constantly be doing to achieve this record? Unlike simply going for the highest round, where you can solely focus on building your defense after you've accrued enough eco, going for maximum money and eco requires you to build defense as well as constantly cycle cards so that your balloon queue is always filled with eco cards. Just watch the screen as the video goes and you'll see how much needs to be done. Thanks again to Tyler for his perspective on it. By the way, I did not record my side to prevent any extra lag sources, so technically speaking that would mean I don't have to try for these records myself, right? But I did it anyways cause I'm a trooper. I had to stop at 300k eco though cause of family issues, which meant that I wouldn't be able to micro as much. So after that milestone I focused solely on surviving to give Tyler as much time to build up his cash flow, and I'd say it turned out pretty good in the end. Anyways, quick bit of downtime, so now's a good moment to scoop a few comments out of my bucket. Let's start. When using mortar to kill rushes, should you aim slightly ahead of where the rush is or at the beginning of the rush? Great question. And it's hard to give a general answer cause different situations call for different mortar micro placements. Personally I'd say aim at the beginning of the rush in most cases, but only start to change your mortar aim once your opponent's rush is over, cause you don't want to have the tail end of their rush untouched and let that kill you. This is assuming you only have one mortar on the field, of course, but yeah, if you do plan on aiming to get more pops down, try to aim for a more concentrated patch of balloons that isn't filled with black or zebra balloons for obvious reasons. That's about all I can say without knowing the circumstances of the game, so I hope it made sense. Next question. Well, this one isn't exactly a question, but I thought I should reply to it regardless because it concerns me and I would like to clarify this so all you understand the situation fully. First off, one thing everyone must realize is that building your channel off the success of one game means you will really only get viewers who watch you because of that one game. If you decide to branch out, then guess what? You'll start losing subs and views unless you somehow manage to get a viral video to attract viewers of your new game. It's not as easy as just drop balloons and start uploading League and your channel is going to explode because there's more viewers over there. No, thing is just like balloons and any other game, you're competing against other channels for views too, and you'd have to stay dedicated to that game if you want to retain any subs you get from there. So I'm not exactly being hypocritical when I say Bloons is dying but can't upload other games to my channel at the same time. It's just the harsh reality for all the big Bloons YouTubers who are still around. We just don't have the same luxury for variety as someone like Donkey, for example. For those of you who may bring up someone like Molderhoff and argue that they were killing it in Bloons despite being mainly Clash channels, well, that brings me to what I said earlier. If you're a large enough YouTuber entering a smaller game market, it isn't hard to collect steam off of that game. It's kind of similar to how I uploaded and got some decent views off Tap Titans. 2 thorough answers should be enough to appease you, and 8+ minutes should certainly be enough to appease your hard-ons for my commentary, so I will leave you off with the remaining rounds. I recommend watching till the end, of course. When Tyler eventually eclipses that 100 million and 400,000 eco mark, your mouth will salivate. Quick prediction just for fun, which will come first, 100 million or 400k eco? Leave your comment below. One more reminder before I go is that the current #1 clan Underground is attempting a 3 million key push, so if you want their rewards you can either purchase a chest amplifier for them at the end of the week or play the hell out of arenas yourself. Just shoot me or another clan member up in Discord if you're interested. Let's aim for 1,000 likes cause I like to consider this special. Have an extremely rich day.